All right, I am going to start right now, so let's get rolling. Welcome, everyone, to the TST 14th Annual Big Event. This year, over 460 people in this room. At least that's what attended. And by the way, I hate to say this, but I did have to turn away, or we had to turn away, about 50, 60 people. And the reason why we had to turn them away, we can't fit them in the room, as you can see. So some people called me up, students of mine for years, said, hey, G, could you let me in? And I had to be a real big you-know-what and say, I can't. We're at our maximum. So I want to thank you all from the bottom of my heart to see that big dream, as Anello said. Right, Anello? We had a dream, and 14 years later, really, we blew it out of the park. Last year was great, but this year looks bigger. So thank you guys for coming. Just a couple of housekeeping things. Obviously, you see the fire exit doors. You know, in an orderly fashion, God forbid something happens. I think the easiest way out is these doors here and there, and also the doors on the side go out to the parking lot. With that being said, let's go over a couple of things that we got. We have our schedule. So you all should have gotten a newsletter. So you should have got the TST newsletter, and we have all our sponsors in there to thank. That'll go through in a minute. The schedule, the Napa book, right? The CVT book from ATSG, and from WorldPack, the WorldPack book. So in case you want to know what's going on and you haven't looked, if you open the TST schedule evaluations book, well, if you open it up, it tells you the breakfast and everything that's going to happen. We will do some raffles. As you know, every year, this year we got about 20-some-odd thousand, a little less than last year. But remember, we put more people in a big venue for $75. That's pretty amazing, okay? This is the biggest training event in one room in the country with 25 vendors in this room. And one guy outside, actually, okay? So that's a pretty big accomplishment, and thank you again for coming out. I do appreciate it. Now, evaluations. Since we didn't print the Napa book, and thank you to Napa and thank you to WorldPack, they don't have evaluations in it. And before I go on, I guess you must have this badge on. You have to wear your lanyard and the badge at all times. If you go out and don't have it on, you're going to get hassled. So make sure you leave it on, please. We've had a couple of people threatening that they were just going to come down and weasel in. So we want to make sure that no one gets in and we don't have a problem, okay? At any rate, the evaluations. You're going to have the one for Tom Rake. He's going to be our first speaker. And how many of you guys have ever seen Tom Rake? Oh, not many. So you're in for a treat. He does hide in Ohio all the time and travels all over the place. But at any rate, if you fill this out neatly, print, and give us your cell number, and also give us your email, 5 people are going to win $20 cash. We're going to text it to you. If your phone doesn't text, you'll get a ring on it, but it should be on silent. All you need to do is come up to me and show me that you got the ring or the text. That's how you're going to get your $20. We're going to do that after each instructor. Okay, so that's $300 in cash that'll be given out just for you, giving us neatly, don't write like I do because I can't read my own crap, neatly your name and your email and phone number, please. So, after that, we do have a great thing from our partners back there. Mike Willens is here from Motor Age. Pete is somewhere. He probably got tired of hearing me speak, so he left. But Pete's here somewhere. There's Pete. Pete Myers sitting down. But we have this great thing. 2 people today. In the back of your lanyard, right, you got a little ticket. 2 people will win a trip worth $2,000 to Chicago Auto Mechanica. How many people went to Auto Mechanica 2015? Let's see those hands. Oh, what a bunch of wusses. We need more. So now it's coming up this summer in July 26th, 29th. It's right on your back covers on all of them, all right? You don't want to miss this free training event. But if you're the lucky winners and you meet this criteria, notice on the bottom it says you must meet the criteria above. And you should have either ASE or you've been to training. It's a whole bunch. You read it. I'm not going to read it for you. If you meet this criteria, when I call your ticket out, you're going to be one of those people that are going to get airfare, hotel, and food money or spending money. Okay? 2 people will win today, besides other prizes. So that's pretty generous from our friends there at Motor Age and UBN. And I'd like to thank our sponsors, because without them we can't do it. Obviously, Motor Age, UBN, Automotive Test Solutions in the back there, Bernie and Neil, and Linny and Kristen, always great to us. They're just unbelievable. My company, ATTS, Napa, way back in the corner there. Surprised they don't have a big Napa banner up, but thank you, Napa guys. Whirlpack over there, thank you guys from Whirlpack as well. They really put a lot into this, because just look at the books. We know we print the rest of these books. You're talking big money. Okay, so thank you to those guys as well. AirSep, a lot of guys don't know AirSep. It's a great kept secret. If you've been in one of my hybrid classes or air conditioning classes, you will see that that AirSep stuff is really good. Not only that it can take contaminants out, but they got some kits that are amazing. Like if you're having problems on some trucks with heater cores or whatever, all the dirt blowing up, they got an accordion type filter that solves that problem, and a lot of other different problems. So go check that out. They're really a great company and a big sponsor for 2 years in a row. Farsight, if you're not familiar with those guys, go check them out. They got a real good solution with diagnostic equipment and technical support. Because sometimes you need a couple of heads, right? Or sometimes we need more than a couple of heads. Depends on the car you're working on. And then, of course, CPS in the back. Chuck is back there. Drew Tech, Glenn is on the side. GTC, Daniel's over here. And by the way, the scope on the rope, that thing kicks ass, dudes. You come into my shop, you'll see us using that thing all the time. Go check the little YouTube video out as well. Flow Dynamics in the back, Scotty boy. They got the air vac. Did they get you the compressor? All right, he got the compressor. By the way, that air vac is great. If it spilled antifreeze on the floor, sucks it right up, or gear oil. It's an air vac that's 100% safe, goes into a bucket, then you recycle whatever you picked up. Real great tool, besides their other stuff. Launch, we got Micah all the way back there. I see him speaking to Steve Zach. Quit yakking back there, gentlemen. Not only kidding. Neutronics, Peter, I think, is finally awake. The little bedtime last night. So identifying stuff, real good. Run Right for years. Where's my Run Right guy? Scott, so there he is. These guys, Bruce couldn't make it today, but Run Right has been real good. And a special thank you to BG. These guys gave you all pens, all the lanyards. You know, besides being a vendor here, they gave us a whole bunch of stuff, including the little screwdriver that we all like. So BG, we want to thank them again. And AE Tools in the back, Joey, came all the way from Kansas City, his little bomb shelter out there. Our buddies at AES Wave, ASE on the side over there. Auto Ingenuity, IATN, Scott Brown. How many IATN members in here? All right, look at that, we need more. That guy, his job depends on it. He'll come to me for money. So please join IATN so he doesn't ask me for money. We got Mitchell 1 over there, somewhere over there. There he is. Oh, he's standing up waving at me. Ed's waving at me. How are you, Ed? Pisani Fuels and Pennzoil, they're right there. Ross Tech and USA Tools, they're right over there. Danny and I forgot your name. So that's all the stuff that we have there to go over. And my notes. Okay, so today we do have a couple of other things I want to go over. I want to thank Jim Morton. Where's Jim Morton? Could you stand up, Jim Morton? Stand up. Let's give Jim a round of applause for all the PA guys. You guys from Pennsylvania, let me see hands up from PA. Come on, the deodorant, let's go, hands up. We got a good, thank you very much, a good group from PA. By the way, we have people from California, Colorado, North Carolina, Idaho, Kentucky. Well, I know Kurt right here from Kentucky. Bring any pickles up? That man did it, okay. Indiana, Maine, and Canada. So we got 19 states represented here today, and Canada. That's really cool, really cool. So let's go over the raffle. Oh, and I want to thank also ASAPA. They have a show once a year. I'm not sure when they're going to do it. Ron Turner couldn't be here today, but maybe later on one of the guys from ASAPA will tell me. Any idea when your show is going to be this year? Somewhere in September. It's a good show, not a far ride, usually down King of Prussia, right? So we're in that area? Not determined. That's right, they knocked it down. Somewhere in PA. It's not a bad ride, by the way. Then I'd like to thank my board members, because if I don't do that, they'll probably kill me. But Doreen out there, we got Pierre, we got Rich, Basil, Eric, and Neil. Big thank you, especially with Pierre. Wouldn't be able to do this. You know, they don't take the glory. I'm the guy standing up here, but they do a lot of work behind the scenes. So I want to thank them. A round of applause for them, please. Now, all those people I just read, when it comes to a raffle, they cannot win, okay? But we do have associates, and by the way, we're always taking recruits when we can get them. An associate is someone that actually pays like you to be here. They just donate their time to help us, okay? So, since they pay, they have the same right as you. They will have a ticket behind their lanyard. And that would be John Baer, I don't know where he is, John Grossman, Adam, and Ed. Ed Hasek, I guess, couldn't make it up today. So those guys can win, because I know in the past we have little problems when someone has a hissy fit. If someone with a blue shirt on wins, they're paying just like you. So we get that out of the way before I pick. We talked about the trips. I want a special thank you to my buddy there, Pete Meyer. How many of you guys watch us either on YouTube or when we do the webcast? I know a lot of guys came up to me. Thank you. We really appreciate that as well. So one other thing I want to go over is if you do win a raffle, okay, if you win a raffle, I'm going to read the ticket 3 times. It's a little rule. You got to go to the little boys or girls room. Guess what? Leave the person next to you the ticket. Because we had a big issue with this about 4 years ago. Some guy is still cursing me out to this day because he lost the smoke machine because he didn't pay attention. Not my fault. I read the ticket 3 times. Is that fair? You don't get it? Too bad. So we will have it before we go to break, before lunch, and I guess the other break in the afternoon, and at the end. So we're going to break up the different prizes. Again, you got to be here to win it. If you give someone your ticket, they come up with it, I don't care. But you have to be up here and show us the ticket. If you'd be kind enough to write your name on the back of the ticket so we just know who actually won it. And now, some of you guys may remember a friend of mine. My buddy Dave DeCourcy. And Dave would always be up here. In fact, here's one of the TST big events. And there's Dave right here with Rick. Oh, Mike, there's you too. Okay. So there's Dave. But I want to play this for you. So here's my buddy with no further delay, Mr. Dave DeCourcy out of Massachusetts. So when he says potty and park the car and stuff like that.
Pots.
And pots. That's right.
Pots.
I was pots in you last night.
Not parts, it's pots.
You'll maybe need a translator. Anyway, Dave DeCourcy.
Thank you, Gene. This is going to be one of 2 parts. One of 2 pots. Parts, pots. You guys can understand me. But this is one of 2 parts. I'm going to try to get to the case study tonight. We can get to 1 case study, and that's about it. The second night's going to be all case studies, and it's, you know, it covers the lot.
So we lost our buddy Dave DeCourcy, and we have a GoFundMe for Dave on the TST website. We collected over $10,000 for him. So if you can go there, help his family out, we'd appreciate it. And now, Pierre, if you're around, we'd like to present an award to Dave DeCourcy. We have an open seat right here.
Kind of the missing man formation, you know?
And TST Service Training would like to recognize Dave DeCourcy as a great technician, an instructor, a TST member and an instructor, and most of all, a good friend. So to Dave DeCourcy.